This phenomenon is what we call the Aurora Borealis when seen over the North Pole. Over the South Pole, it is called the Aurora Australis. Humans have known about the existence of auroras for hundreds of years, and many cultural myths have been recorded throughout history about them. Northern peoples from Europe believed that the auroras were reflections from campfires. The Inuit of Alaska thought that the lights were spirits of the various animals that they hunted, seals, salmon, deer, and etc. Today, we know that the Aurora Borealis is caused by collisions between gaseous particles in our atmosphere and charged particles from the sun's atmosphere, carried by the solar wind. The colors of an aurora are quite spectacular, with the most common color being a yellowish green. But other colors such as blues, whites, reds, and even purple are possible, and they depend on the composition of the atmosphere as well as the altitude. For excited atoms to reach a ground state, they send out a photon with a specific energy, and this energy is what we perceive as color. The two primary contributors to the colors of the aurora are oxygen and nitrogen. Oxygen emits photons in two colors, green and red. The red is just at the limit of what we can actually see with the naked human eye, so we can barely see it. The red is easier to see using photographic film because it has a different sensitivity to color than our eyes do. Nitrogen makes blue photon emissions, and purple is caused by a mixture of oxygen and nitrogen emissions. Other aspects of the aurora, such as the different swirls and patterns we see, are not as well understood as color. Current research to study the aurora involves launching a sounding rocket into the Aurora Borealis to study these classic curls. The research is being conducted by Marilia Samara and her team in the ground-to-rocket electrodynamics electrons correlative experiment, or, to simplify that tongue twister, the GREASE mission. The mission seeks to study what combination of events makes the curls in the aurora and to help get a better picture of how particles from the sun interact with the magnetosphere. The GREASE study has two parts. 1. Images are taken from the ground that will track the aurora from a ground view. And 2. A rocket is launched into the aurora to take measurements of the aurora itself. The GREASE mission was originally scheduled to launch between January 24th and February 6, 2014. But because the conditions that the team was looking for did not appear during that period, the launch was extended through February 9th. The mission was extended again because although good auroras did occur during this time, winds were too strong to be able to launch. Finally, on March 3rd, the GREASE mission was launched. The rocket was launched from the Poker Flat Research Range in Alaska and flew for about 600 seconds. That's roughly 10 minutes. Instruments on board the rocket collected information on the electric fields within the aurora, as well as particles in the aurora. This data is now being compared to images collected from the ground. Ground photos have been released and provide some great images of the launch and the aurora conditions that night. Information on the data recorded from the rocket has not been released yet, as the study is still ongoing. For those who are interested in seeing the Aurora Borealis for themselves, the Geophysical Institute of the University of Alaska Fairbanks provides forecasts daily for where the aurora can be seen and when. As an example, I've put up the forecast for Sunday, March 16th. If you scroll down the page, you'll see not only alternative map views, but also a written description of what today's forecast for an aurora is. It's possible to see the aurora from the UP if the aurora is strong enough and weather conditions in the UP are good. These photos were taken by astrophotographer Sean Malone in February of 2012. You can see the aurora over the horizon. These photos were taken from Marquette and they overlook Lake Superior. If you're interested in learning more about the Aurora Borealis, www.gi.alaska.edu is an excellent reference. This is also the site where you can find daily forecasts for the Aurora Borealis. The other sites listed here are excellent references as well.